Reverend Brown. In 1938, Reverend Brown, a young man from Niagara, New York, was called by God to open the doors of the Zion Baptist Church. And that is when I joined. I was about 18 or 19 years old. Reverend Brown stayed for 2 years, and then he was called to pastor Chatham Baptist Church, and later he pastored Windsor Baptist Church. Isabel Williamson was a slave lady. I believe she worked at the Walnut House Hotel. And she built the house on 25 Raymond Street to be used for a church if we had no place to worship. But the church on Geneva Street was still standing. The church was torn down in 1958. The association sent missionary Clara Williams from Chatham, and she pastored for 17 years. She had health problems and went back to Chatham and passed away. Our next pastor was Reverend Horace James of Niagara Falls, New York. He pastored for 17 years at 25 Raymond Street. Then he left. I had to write down this stuff because I'm going to forget it. Then we were without a pastor for 10 years, and we prayed much, and God heard our prayers and sent us a faithful pastor. He stayed with us for about 15 years. He resigned, and then Reverend Jameson Haynes came to be our pastor. He stayed for about 2 years and resigned. So Reverend Carvin Washington come back and was reinstated as our pastor, faithful pastor. He is here today. Although we are few in number, God is blessing us. He comes every week, Bible study, Wednesdays, also every Sunday for Sunday school and church. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. I have been in the Baptist Church for 75 years. Thank you all for coming and helping me celebrate this anniversary.
In this book, you will see that two pictures are there. One is when she was approximately 22 years old, and the other one is when she is 90 years old. And she also has a picture in there, since then. So this is her, 22 years old, and I showed this to a fellow in Niagara Falls, New York, and he said, she's a good-looking fox. All right, Mother Dawson. Thank you for your faithful service and dedication of Zion Baptist Church throughout the years. And so we want to present to you this book that has your picture in it, and is also a certificate of your faithful service in the book also. And so don't throw the certificate away when you take the book out the envelope. Lord bless you, brother.
My testimony starts right here. I was a young child in Sunday school here, and my mother and father were members of this church, and I knew about God, but I didn't really know Him as I was growing up. I just asked my mother a lot of questions, so I knew you had to be a Christian before you got to be a member. So I'm young and I'm not thinking anything about that kind of thing. So anyway, I had a lot of friends, and my mother says to me, well, when you come of age, you can go to whatever church you want to, you know. So I came of age, and I did all the things I wanted to do. And then there was a church sign Baptist up the street. So I was 16, and I decided to start going there. And I went there, and I felt this tugging at my heart. And I was going to go to the altar, but I didn't. It took me by the whole year, because I was always thinking about my friends. What are they going to think? And so I know they're worldly friends, and even though I backslid many times and went to many, many churches, I became, when I was 17, I gave my heart to the Lord at Zion Baptist Church there on Geneva Street, got baptized, and then when I went to, when I still was at that church, I did Bible studies. I liked to go to Bible studies and sing, and we were never forced to go to church. We just went. So I went to tell young people, forget about the world. And if you have something on you, you probably know it's the Lord. So I didn't write down much. I could stay here all night and tell all the wonderful things that have happened in my life. And I just praise the Lord every night for as long as I live. I'm in my 90s too. And my feet are too good. But the Lord gives me strength each day. Yes. And I just praise Him for all His mercy. So it's short and sweet.
Notice Pastor Reverend Washington that you present the book.
When Gary first said I'd like to introduce someone special to me, I thought he was referring to me. I was ready to come up. Well, I'm so pleased to be here, and I'm Gene. I've known you for a number of years, more than 20 years anyway, and I just saw this photograph here of Gene in the book, and it reminds me of a photograph that Gene showed to my daughter, Cheyenne. Cheyenne was about 6 or 7 years old, and Gene brought a photograph. She was going to our church, and Gene brought a photograph of her and her relatives, a group photo, and Cheyenne looked at her and said, Gene, do you realize all these people are black? But I'm just so excited to be here, Gene, and to bless you and to tell you how much I appreciate you. You know, as I said, I've known you for 20 years. I think you deceived me a little bit, Gene, because I did say to you at one time, how old are you? And you said, I'm in the neighborhood of 39. But then she said, but it's a big neighborhood. Let me share with you one line from a few different Psalms. Okay? Psalm 28, the Lord is my strength and my shield. Psalm 30, joy comes in the morning. Psalm 32, I will instruct thee and teach thee. Psalm 33, sing unto him a new song. And Gene sings one particular song, Jacob's Ladder, that just blesses my soul. Psalm 34, taste and see that the Lord is good. Psalm 35, O Lord, be not far from me. And Psalm 37, delight yourself in the Lord. And Gene, I am just excited to be here and to bless you and to present you with this book on behalf of Zion Baptists. Bless your heart.
Who's the head of my life, the pastor of this great church, Carvin. So, all the people that are here tonight, today, I certainly want to wish Mother Dawson a great happy birthday. And usually when somebody says They say happy birthday and they wish you another 100 years. Huh? Do you want another 100 years, Mother? Well, I want to say this, is that you did have a part in raising me. My father brought us every Sunday. Sometimes it wasn't, I didn't want to come all the time, but because he knew what was best for me, he brought me. And the place he brought me was a good place, where I received good teaching. I received love from the family that was there, everybody. And I just want to say, Mother Dawson, it's a blessing to see you today. I can't go back and see Daddy. And that bothers me at times. But man, I can look and see some of the work that he did here in St. Catharines. To see you three ladies here together and the other brothers and sisters that attended Zion Baptist Church, it's an honor to be here to play a selection for you. Now, I don't know whether you have a hearing aid or not, but I play when I play them, and I don't want to hurt your ears. The song I'm going to play is going to be called Long As I Got King Jesus, I Don't Need Nobody Else. Now, we all know we need every one of us as brothers and sisters in the Lord. This is how God works from me, through you, from you through me. We need each other. But once we got God in our lives, and we know He's there, you don't need nobody. Now, I'm from the States. I love my country, but I am very appalled at the things that they're doing with the Homosexuality Act. It is grieving my spirit. And I have a ministry called Noah's Ark Ministry. It's going to start the second week in July, which will be next week on the weekend. And that's going to be one of my topics. And I don't care what they say or what they do, because they bringing something down on all of us. This great kingdom was destroyed for those things. So, I mean, I don't want to get too far on another subject, but I just want to say happy birthday, and I love you, Mother Dawson. I wish my brothers and sisters, fleshly brothers and sisters, were around to be here to congratulate you on your longevity that the Lord has given you. I'm looking forward to seeing that picture for 22 years old, too. I got to see that before I go. So this song is called Long As I Got King Jesus, I Don't Need Nobody Else.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for all coming today to Zion Baptist Church history and the birthday of my Aunt Marjorie Dawson, her 95th birthday. How lucky I am to have aunts and uncles that have such longevity. My father died when he was 52 years old, and I have an uncle, Leslie Bell, as well, passed away very young. I feel that my aunts, Marjorie, June, Jean, my Uncle George, my Uncle Ralph, my Aunt Dorothy when she was alive, and my cousins all played a major part in my life as bringing me to church and teaching me the Lord's, what He had in store for me. 51 years I am, and I started going to Zion Baptist Church at a young age. Reverend James was the pastor at the time. Vernon James, who played the saxophone, that was his father. He baptized me and some of my cousins at the church, and he played an instrumental part. Reverend James had left the church, and after that, as my Aunt Marjorie had said, we went 10 years without a pastor. After that, I was in my teenage years, and I kind of dwindled away from church, as some teenagers do, but God plants a seed in you, and it's always there, and no matter what, you ended up going back to the Lord because He plants that there, no matter if you leave or not.
Amen.
After the 10 years, my Aunt Marjorie, during that 10 years, she came and kept us up faithfully. Myself, my cousins, other kids from the neighborhood, the Summers children, brought us to church every Sunday, taught us Sunday school lessons. My cousin Heather and I, she used to take us over to Dairy Queen after for hot dogs, and she just kept the church going. She prayed earnestly. 10 years later, somebody came to our door. I wasn't there that day. Reverend Carvin, Washington Sr., and he asked if we still had a pastor there, and we didn't. And he's been coming faithfully, as Sister Dawson said, and he comes every Sunday. He comes every Wednesday. If we need him anytime during the week, he's there for us. As I was saying, the church is still standing, and like my Aunt June had said, she said if people from way back in the past that have realized that that church would still be going today, they wouldn't believe it. I'm happy to be here today to wish my Aunt Marjorie, 95 years, happy birthday today. And I'd just like to read at the end here that we are a church of small number, but God's word will prevail forever and ever. Proverbs 3:5 says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. And everybody have a wonderful day as we celebrate the birthday.
Thank you, sister. And now Pastor Washington will be coming forward and present the book. Sister.
Also, Sister Edwards and her wonderful husband is in the book. So she didn't know which picture I was putting in there. She gave me a few. But Sister Edwards, thank you for your faithful stewardship of Zion Baptist Church, and I'm so elated to be there to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. And so thank you all for accepting me as your all pastor. Perhaps you're sad now that you did, but you're stuck with me now. I'm part of the family. So on behalf of the members and the pastor of Zion Baptist Church, we present you with the book. God bless you.
Mr. Bass, Sister Julianne, Sister Teresa, Heather Hooper, Heather Anderson, Jeff Anderson, Reverend Patsy, Jennifer, Holmes Smith, Elaine, Jude Trotman, Paul and Norma, and Mary Lane. It's just that there are some that were younger since they come in a long time ago, and she just wanted to remember some of them, like Mary Flowers and Gordon Bright, and Marlene Flowers, Shirley Flowers.
Delegate, Tony Harper, Swan Champagne, Lori McElpine, Stephen Woodnut, Henry Bell, and Eddie Ann,